Hello everybody and a warm welcome back. Ah, welcome to a kind of dreary and really not so great. The gate didn't want to come over for some reason. Welcome to beautiful, although cloudy and damp and rainy. Oh, that's good. Drop fuel trucks from the air. Good work. You got to figure something out with those Flight Factor. We're in the Flight Factor 777. This is version 2.0.57. Bunch of mods, payware, and other stuff are in use. This is the default Sapporo. I used to use Mr. X's Sapporo, but as X-Plane 12 has kept progressing, using X-Plane 11 airports just doesn't seem to work as well as it did when X-Plane 12 first released. So I don't have any X-Plane 11 stuff at all in my sim anymore. I have been here before, and the pushback is typically done anyway. Yeah.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
And there we are. This is going to be a shakedown flight for me for the PC more than anything. The aircraft I have no question about. I'm going to say it's going to be around 145. Somewhere in that area. We're just loading up with the fuel. If you want to know what happened in absence and if things look a little different and all that, I had to rebuild the PC. AKA my bank manager is probably having a conniption because my bank account is way overdrawn and into the overdraft. My power supply took out the old motherboard. Thankfully, I've always bought good motherboards. And the shunt resistors and the fuses in the motherboard blew before it could do any damage to the CPU and the video card. I didn't trust the RAM, so I replaced the RAM, replaced the motherboard, replaced the power supply. Have a Seasonic 750 watt now. I've got an ASUS B550 Wi-Fi motherboard, the Prime. So now my CPU and GPU are both on PCIe 4.0, which is what they were. My old motherboard was PCIe 3.0. Yeah. So this is going to be to see. I also it unregistered my Windows 10. So they said you've got to buy a new license, and I'm like, I'm not buying a license for an operating system that's no longer going to get security updates in like 4 or 5 months. So I installed Windows 11 once I made sure I could get safe boot and all that to load properly and that. So I also had to buy a Windows 11 key. But now I don't have to worry about anything for years, thankfully. So, where we're going to, I am going to be doing that. By the time I'm finished with the loading and everything else, this will be about a 4.5 hour flight, give or take. And you've heard me mention numerous times that when I lived in Nagayoshi, I used to like going down to Naha sometimes. And I always said, do not get it mixed up with Nara, sorry. Don't get it mixed, see, even I do it sometimes. Don't mix it up with Naha, because there are two totally different parts of Japan. I am going to be flying the entire length of Japan on this flight. We are going to, I've never told you where Naha is or taken you there. We are going to go to Naha. I have Dark Blue Scenery Designs rendition of Naha. We are going to fly down there. I'm expecting a big frame rate hit once we get there. It is what it is. I don't have a 3090 or a 4080 or, you know, anything like that. So we'll see what happens. X-Plane map enhancement is in use. I use version 3.0.17. I am on the professional version. It's $40 a year. Back to here.
Much appreciated.
We are finished with the fueling.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
If you decide, you can try it out for free. The link will be down in the description below. If you do decide to get the Pro version, do use my referral code. You'll get yourself an extra 10 days or 2 weeks onto your subscription. So it'll be a year and like 10 days or a year and 2 months. And or 2 weeks. And I also get an extra 10 days or 2 weeks. At no additional cost to you. It's still $40 regardless. If you'd like to help support the channel and bail out my bank account in any way, the overdraft, and make sure my bank manager doesn't lose all his hair, links are down below. 2 ways you can do it. Either one works, and you'll also find a link to my Discord, which is always free to join. We are agenda free. Everything you see was bought with my own money and viewer donations. Sim Heaven is in use. Global Forest is in use. Of course, the Flight Factor 777 version 2.0.57. I've got one of my favorite liveries, the Demon Slayer anime tribute livery on, which is really cool. So I'm going to finish setting up. I am expecting runway 1 right for departure. And we're expecting 18 right in Naha. I am glad to have you on board. My compute, where you can download all these kinds of things and that, are in the description down below. Just click show more. And you'll find the other stuff I mentioned. You'll also find my new computer specs down there as well. I'm going to finish loading up, and I will see you on the runways. Thanks for flying ANA Flight 550 non-stop from New Chitose to Naha International Airport on the beautiful island, which I love, and I love the people to death from there, and especially the indigenous people who can trace their history back like 800 years on the island. Island of Okinawa. Glad to have you on board. And here we go. I brought you back early so you can listen to the engine sound start up and all that kind of stuff. Plus, it's a very short taxi. We had a change in runway. Always fun. How are you doing? You can actually hear them from the flight deck, tell you the truth. You can start them earlier in that. By the way, I always get asked about that. That is called B2 volume control. That is freeware. You can get it on the .org. G90-94B engines, baby. With the beautiful Demon Slayer livery on it, which I love flying with for ANA. Well, that's one good start. Everybody's buckled up back in the back.
Listening.
Sir, the cabin is secure and safety briefing has been completed.
And starting one. Ugly day. I'm pretty sure it was brutally hot here the other day. Like they were in a massive heat wave. Although it's not exactly cool there today, even, but it's a lot cooler. It's 25 Celsius. What's the humidity at though? 89%. Well, they were up in the high 90s before, so.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
So like I said, this will be like a 4+ hour flight. I want to see how well the new parts and all that are working. And if I got them configured properly, and temps are all right and everything else. Like I said, I'm expecting a frame rate dip at Naha. High models and dark blue scenery designs. They're often quite beautiful, but not exactly. There we go. Now we can get you on and you
Tow is
on.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. Well, see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you kindly. We'll look for the handoff on the right and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for your service. We didn't go on. Okay. That's that. We'll get the engines to continuous since we are taking off. And we will get the taxi lights on. Now let's go, and the runway's right there, which is pretty cool. Flight directors are all on. Everything is good up there. That's good. Set flaps 5. And in case you're wondering about like the motor first starting and all that, it's because it does the slats as well in the front, right? So it usually starts with something like that. And we're basically on the clock now. I'll just, yeah, I saw you. Let's go to Naha. Man, I love Okinawa. The people in Okinawa, especially the indigenous people, the people that trace themselves back 500-800 years to the island. Absolutely beautiful people. Loved it down there. The interesting thing is, Don was a polyglot. He can speak business Japanese, some dabbling with legal Japanese, formal Keiko style Japanese, and informal Japanese. When a person in Naha actually spoke in their native tongue, in their native dialect, he could only understand like about 10 or 15% of what they said. They have a completely different language when they speak themselves. Same with the Innu. The Inoue up in Hokkaido, up here. Well, they're further north, but same thing. I'm not going to get into my feelings on it. I think you can tell what mine are. You know, when it comes to, you know, because we have indigenous people here in Canada, and preservation of their language, culture, and everything like that, to me, is a lot more important than assimilating them into our. Strobes on, that off, you. Cabin is secure. The purser already told us. Let's go to Naha.
Approaching
Like I said,
19 right.
you will not have to watch the whole flight, obviously.
Approaching 19 right.
I wish I could disable that XRAS in the plane, because XRAS is far more useful, most times. At least when she's not screaming at me.
On runway 19
right.
right.
And I changed my center line view to around here. Make sure it took. It did. Perfect. Up to around 35%. That's good. And that is Toga. Forward pressure on the yoke. Till 80 knots is slow release. This thing gets up to speed in a hurry, man. D1. That's rotating. Wrong way. Okay. Still hand flying it. Oh. Oh, awesome. Love the Demon Slayer livery. Just saying. Well, I knew I'd get it over too far. Ah, that's X-Plane map enhancement and sim have been working in perfect harmony there, baby. Get one level flaps in. Still hand flying because we can. Can we do a flyby? Why not? Ah, clouds are looking good. Atmospherics are looking good. That is awesome. Whoa, compensated a little too much. pilot. And final flaps up. Those lights off. And like you see, the whole flight plan can't fit on there. And that's 640 miles. It's a long flight. Oh, that looks just awesome. Performance is good. We're not going to see a heck of a lot as I keep climbing up, so. Engines to normal. Everything else up top looks good. Not worried about icing. This has automatic anti-ice. A lot of boats, obviously. Well, ships. Although you see sailboats in the Segura Strait and all that here. And over towards Hakodate and that. A lot of people out fishing. Scallops the size of your fist. Another flyby, because I love that camera. Now, it's been decades, a number of decades since I've been here. But I mean, this is what I've experienced in real life. Obviously, some of the buildings have changed and certain things are, you know, no longer there, but, you know, and have been added that are new that I don't recognize. Because it's been a good number of years since I lived in Japan. And we'll go back just to the load. And that 14,000 at standard pressure, balance it to both sides. Let's go over here. Those are all good. Get you down a bit. Get you up a bit. Get you down a bit. Don't want to blind them. Get rid of that so we can get some coffee later on. It should be in the bag, as you can see. I will get rid of mine. And there we are. So as I said, you know, now that we're going to be getting into the clouds more and all that, I don't want to keep you on the, you know, during the summer and on the weekend. So I'll just ask you to do the usual YouTube things of like, share, comment, subscribe. Do check out the Discord. I'm usually in there most of the time. And that, I also stream on Discord sometimes, just for members, and I'm not recording. Sometimes I actually stream and record at the same time. Everything is looking awesome. No, that is not Mount Fuji. We are way too far north. This is spooky weather, man. Yes, I would like some coffee.
What would you like?
Captain, would you like some coffee?
Yes.
Of course.
What kind would you like?
Black, please.
Will do, as you ask.
Did I not put no smoking on? Yeah, that's fine. And we're getting up around 20,000, 22, 24, you know, in that area, normally you take the seatbelt sign off, but I'm kind of worried about turbulence. Yeah, they haven't got a weather radar working on here. They have their own weather radar, I think. Can't wait for 12.1.3. That's when we're supposed to get the weather radar. And weather enhancements as well. Just don't mess it up, Laminar, because I deleted Active Sky. One of the things I did do with the, you know, when it did all that damage to the PC, could I have migrated some of the stuff maybe off the Windows 10 install I had? Yeah, but I opted not to. I re-downloaded my video editing software. Not that I know how to use it, but really all that well, but you know, with all the fancy stuff like some people do. But you know, I'm a simple person. I like simple things. And I just love to share my love and passion for flight simming and truck simming and train sims, and streamed some Red Dead Redemption 2 the other night before the PC died and that. So this is just to see if everything is working correctly and properly. So I will bring you back when we get to a clear spot. Hopefully we won't be flying in weather with clouds down below the entire flight. We are on live weather and live time. We are using default live weather, so I didn't bother installing Active Sky or XEnviro. The built-in live weather worked perfectly fine. That's why I said don't mess it up, Laminar, with 12.1.3. You can go over there. And I'll bring you back when we do see something. And if it is staying cloudy the whole time, I'll bring you back at top of descent. Thanks for flying along with me. And welcome back. Oh, sorry about that. It's because of quitting smoking. That is the, we've got some clear sky finally. That is the Noto Peninsula. That is the place that was rocked with the earthquake on New Year's Day, I believe it was. This year? I believe it was this year or last year. Did a ton of damage. A lot of damage. And people there are still suffering. This is where it took place, was out here on this peninsula. And a lot of the people are still trying to recover from it. Tons of landslides and rock slides and stuff like that. Such a beautiful area too. You know, you got Sato Island over there, out there a bit, and that. Just a beautiful area. Yeah, so we're about an hour into the flight of airtime, if you will. And so far, everything's working well. PC seems to be performing fine. We still got another, well, by the time I shut down and all that, another 3 hours or so to go. I still can't get the whole flight plan to show on the ND. It's that long. We are flying the entire length of Japan. So that's your little update. Everything is going peachy keen. And it did clear up. At least here we're expecting rain though, and that at Naha. So that should be fun. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll end up with another runway change. I'm not sure. It's now still on 18 right. 18 right? Yeah, it's still 18 right as of right now. But anything can happen in the next few hours. Anyways, there you go. Next time I talk to you, unless I spot something really, really beautiful or really interesting that I want to talk to you about because I've been there and maybe an experience I had. But a lot of this will be over water, so I will see you at top of descent. Thanks for flying along. And welcome back, everyone. We are getting close. We are right about at top of descent. Hopefully this doesn't turn out too long, but this could be interesting. Here is the weather. That's kind of unusual to have those towering cumulus around the airport at 2,000 feet. We've got we've got rain, we've got wind, with towering cumulus clouds southeast to northeast. So moving towards us. So they're moving this way. This is going to be interesting. We'll have a slight crosswind. And it's now full IFR. We're still within minimums. Broken at 1200. Ceiling is dropping. So we will have to play this by ear. I don't want to do an auto land, but that is what I'm dealing with. What is the RVR? I need to look that up on my chart, actually. We're within the range here. That's good. Fly by, you know, because we can, and it's cool, and I like it. So yeah, I said we were gonna have nasty weather. So many islands in Japan, it's unreal. The amount of islands. Some are like, they're technically an island because they break the surface of the ocean. You know, but they're like 50 feet long by maybe, well, maybe not 50 feet long, but like maybe a few hundred feet long by, you know, 30 miles wide. Kind of like no bigger than this kind of thing. But technically it's an island and it has a name. So there we go. I did set up some rings around the airport because I'm not going to have visual. I've got the runway heading in already. My minimums are in. The altimeter, did it drop again by any chance? Q180097. I've got 97 in. Cool. So the baro hasn't changed. But the weather is definitely a lot worse than it was. That is for sure. The flight has been what I like to call boring and uneventful. Just the kind of flights I like. The plane and the sim and the PC so far, fingers crossed, has performed perfectly. I do apologize for ruining the beautiful views in that with this. I want to see what kind of hit Dark Blue Scenery Designs airport is going to give me. I did tone down some of my settings, put them down to medium. But I left everything else the same. The shadow quality I turned down. That is one thing. If it's got any elements from X-Plane 11 in it at all, having your shadow quality up like high or a medium or anything like that can, like, it'll cost you frames, like sometimes up to 10. So yeah, but so far we're doing good, but it hasn't loaded in the airport yet. We're still probably 70 miles out, give or take. You can actually tell just by doing this. We're 118 nautical miles out. When fuel is good. What did they give me again? Yeah, I've got Pudong, you know, which is Shanghai. I'm not sure why SimBrief gave me that. Last I checked, Taiyuan in Taiwan, the main one on the coast, it can handle 777s. Why it wants me to go all the way to Shanghai, I have no clue. But I have the fuel to get there. Had a lovely tailwind for most of the flight. The atmospherics are just looking spectacular. Sort of the mistiness from the humidity and the moisture in the air and everything else like that. Evaporation. Looks pretty good. Still got some weird sort of clouds. Hopefully they can address those. I mean, I'm not saying these kind of clouds can't exist. I've just never seen them on any flight I've ever been on. I have seen these sort of shelf sort of clouds in flight. And there's some pretty bizarre cloud formations that I've seen, even when I used to fly Microsoft. And it's like I have seen those in real life. It's like they do happen. They're not very common, but it's like they do happen. Matter of fact, what was it? I was on a flight, I think it was, I was going to Edmonton. And the pilot even came on, and he even said, if you look out the left-hand side of the aircraft, that is one of the rare cloud types that you may not ever see again on a flight like you. They'll still exist and pop up all over the world. But it's like it's a very uncommon type of cloud. And it's why we're diverting around it. Because aircraft and that type of cloud do not get along at all. And we're coming down nicely. We are perfectly on profile. We're a little quick, but that's fine. Get us to the airport that much quicker. Around 20,000, I'll get the seatbelt sign on, and I will get all of you back into your seats. And hopefully the weather starts to improve a little bit. Yeah, we'll have a 4-knot slight crosswind off the left-hand side. Unless the weather changes again. At least it didn't change the runway again. Although landing on 3.6 is better. We'll have a long taxi. You won't have to watch it all. I will pull off the runway, get the landing lights off, all that stuff, get the APU started, and I'll turn it to nighttime so you can get an idea of what the airport looks like at night. And don't ask me to put snow on it. They don't get snow in Okinawa. Not at sea level. Ah, beautiful. I love Okinawa. I love the people. I know, I keep raving about it. I'm telling you, the people, especially the natives, the indigenous people. So freaking beautiful. They're just awesome. They really are. They love to share their history, their culture, take you to places that have significance to them, or tell you where it is and what the significance of it is. And that Okinawa is just spectacular. And in all honesty, if you want to go for a vacation in Japan, I say go to Okinawa, go to Hokkaido, go up to north, go to Aomori, Sendai, something like that. I mean, because in all fairness, and this is from someone who spent 15 years plus of their life living and working in Japan, going to Tokyo, you may as well save your cash and just go to New York. The only difference is that you have girls running around and people in anime outfits, big screens playing anime and J-pop groups and idol groups and stuff, and the signs are in kanji, and sometimes hiragana or both. The city doesn't sleep. The light, it's bright all the time. It's loud all the time. It's crowded all the time. Oh Lord, yeah. Now the weather's starting to kick in. This won't be fun. You know, but I mean, you're gonna want to see it, especially places like Shinjuku and Roppongi. Well, Roppongi maybe not. Depends. Shibuya, Akihabara. You know, I mean, just go to one of the other places I've just mentioned, and then fly out of Tokyo or out of Osaka, back, you know, to Europe or stateside or Canada or wherever you're flying to from originally, and, you know, spend a day or two, you know, a couple of days in Tokyo, what have you, or in Osaka. Going in Osaka, you're gonna be stressed. You'll need a vacation from your vacation. That's all I'm gonna say. I used to freaking get out of Osaka every single chance I got. Luckily, I went over there to open up the place along with Dawn, who still lives there. I've explained all this before. I'm not going to go all into it again. You know, he still lives there. He married a Japanese girl. He's now a Japanese citizen. He gave up his American citizenship. After asking my godchild, do you want me to keep my you know, when she got old enough to understand what it means, as well as his son, I can keep my American citizenship, and then you could probably get in, although I don't know how it all works now. And that or not, and they go, I'm Japanese. And that sort of answered that for him. So he applied for citizenship and got it, and still lives there to this day. So here we go. I don't think we're going to see much of these wings. There's a lot of shipping down there that we're not seeing. And like I said, I'm not worried about any icing or anything like that as the temperature. Well, you see, we're at 12,000 feet. It's already 24 Celsius. This has automatic anti-ice anyway. Zero set.
Yes,
Prepare for landing.
gladly.
Already done. You're 2,000 feet late. That's rest. Yeah, you want to go to the beach. I know that for sure. I'm going to get some speed brake out. So because we're going to be coming up on 10,000 soon enough. And I'll give it a hand. Now we'll pull it in a little bit. I just don't want it getting too over speed. But it's coming down beautifully. This flight has gone really, really well. And I'm going to switch to terrain. Well, actually, no. Well, the weather radar doesn't work yet. X-Craft had a radar. If you watch, like I said, if you want to know the whole backstory on what happened with the PC and that stuff, I'll put a link up top to the X-Craft video I made the other day. It's only about 9.5 minutes long. And I just explained the whole shenanigans going on and that while I was sort of on climb out. And I actually overflew Aomori and spotted it out. And here we go. Okay. Everything else is up top. It's fine. We will get you to continuous. Looking good. Expect the Map Enhancement Pro is working well. Not getting the hit from the airport yet, so that's a good sign. Frame rate good so far. 1,200 feet is where we intercept the ILS, and it's a very short ILS. It's only about 6 miles. But we won't descend below 2,000 when we make, I think here is 4 and the next one is 2. And we already have the identifier, and that is correct. That heading is correct. So we're 46 miles out from the airport. Here we go. I'm glad those, it seems the towering, did the towering cumulus go away? No, it's at 2,000 still. Oh, well. Wow. Funky cloud effects. And we can get that back up. And there's my rings, which are perfect. Not seeing the towering cumulus yet, but we're still 40 plus miles out, so. We will see, as you see, around 2.5 hours, if you add almost an hour during the loading and all that kind of stuff. And the taxi and that, and then I've got to unload it. Around a 4.5 hour flight. Continuous ignition, passenger signs are on. We will arm the speed brake. Yeah, it's not up. Okay. A lot of shipping goes through here. Not necessarily into Okinawa, but traversing these waters. Coming from Taiwan, from China, from Singapore, Vietnam, you know, all of ASEAN. You gotta have your head on a swivel out here if you are a ship's captain. There's some of them Panamax and stuff like that, if they need to use the Panama Canal, they're massive. Those things take forever to slow down or turn. There's the cloud bank. We're going to be turning sort of into that. I want to get you up. Over here will do, just so I have an idea. And the range rings are set for 10, 7, and 5. At 7 I want to be at like 180. And at 5 I want to be at least flaps 15 with gear down. And then I've got 3, that's what I'll set V at. And go to flaps 30. It's kind of getting the localizer a little bit. And here, set the backup. And here goes nothing. And when we make this turn, I'm going to slow us down to 210. .21 knot headwind so far. Still showers and rain. Few clouds towering cumulus 2000. Broken at 1500. Yeah, I'm not even going to see the runway until I basically start descending on the glide path. So it's a good idea I have those rings. And if I don't have the runway by here, maybe around there. That's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever done a go-around in this. What is my go-around altitude, by the way? Climb to 1200 outbound to the VOR, then climb to 2000. Okay. How do people not know how to turn, like open their car and just, but like not know how to disable their car alarm? I don't understand it. You'd be surprised how many times you hear that. And here we go. Actually, before I do that, oh, it's also, it's going to slow me to 210 anyway. But salsa is like up here. I want to be slower than that. It's not looking that bad. At least so far. Slowly drop it back. Auto brake 2. Speed brake is armed. Cabin has already been alerted. Landing lights are on. And here we go. Hopefully I don't get any severe downdrafts or wind shear or anything like that. How I wish this was a real aircraft and I was actually going back to Okinawa. Not that it hasn't been hot enough here this summer as it is. We have the localizer, we have the glide slope. Level of flaps into some slots up. Ah, there's some shipping. Here we go, and the runway is it's an island runway, just so you know. I don't know, that looks a lot clearer than what the METAR is saying. And after I just sang all the praises of the live weather, although I am at 1,200 feet, so I think I would be below it, really, for the most part. There's the rain, sort of. Block 5. $127 plus 5 is 132. We have the locus waiting for the glide slope. Slight crosswind, supposed to be 1.7. Did the weather change? No. Maybe explains weather is just behind. 23 knots. Absolutely beautiful. There we go, we're good. Oh, stunning. Flaps 15. Gear coming down.
1,000.
Ah, love this livery. Confirmed. Flaps 20.
Approaching 18 right.
Flaps 25. Flaps 30. Fully configured.
500.
You're taking your time coming down, aren't you?
400.
There we go.
Approaching minimums.
Auto throttle off.
Approaching
Throttle.
18 right.
Minimums. $200.
Looking at the other landing,
100.
hopefully.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reverse green. Not a bad landing, considering I haven't flown this for a little bit. Reverser stowed. Manual braking. Welcome to Okinawa and Naha, the place I've talked about for a number of years but never flew you here. Frame rate's not that bad. We'll just take this one right here. And now we got a long taxi. Because this is an island, there's only one exit to it. And here we go. We are now clear of the runway. So I will clean us up. Landing lights off. Strobes off. Taxi lights on. Engines to normal. Start the APU. And there it goes. And here we go. And there we go. Now you can see it at night. And the lovely night lighting. And the ships, some of the stuff in the harbor and stuff. This thing loves to taxi all on its little lonesome. I got the throttles at idle. There we go. Flaps coming up. And there you can see the airport. No parts, sort of. The tower, some of the terminal area. Just so you know, the terminal has two sections. Well, it's in one long building, but there's sort of a divider island thing that comes out. And if you're on this side, the south side of it, that's the domestic terminal. The north side of that pillar is the international. I will have to probably park there because I don't think domestic 777s fly into here. And the domestic terminal will actually have, as you can see, beautiful night lighting. Frame rate's not all that bad, actually. Rather pleased with that for dark blue scenery. That's an incredible, although we're not near the airport. Again, this has a modeled interior. I never go in them. I don't care about it. I'm a pilot, not a tourist. Terminals just if as a pilot, would just remind me of work. That I just, and here we go. There's no 3D people inside or anything like that. It's just I'd sooner save more frame rate and take a load off the CPU and that with not having modeled interiors. But that's me. I understand. That's one of the curses that came over to X-Plane because of Microsoft. Because people saw it, you know, the nicely modeled interiors and that. And there was an article written. I can't remember who wrote it or where I read it. But they called it the curse of Microsoft Flight Simulator in X-Plane 12. And it was specifically, they talked about the modeled interiors. Your mileage may vary. I've had comments on videos when I've mentioned I don't like, you know, I'd sooner there be a version without it. And like, you know, knock a few bucks off the price, please. And they've agreed with me. Others are like, no, I like them. I like to kind of look around inside and stuff. And it's like, you know, everyone's different. I would just like the option of, you know, you can install the airport and everything is identical, except the interior is just generic. Because I'm never going to be in there. So if there's anything in there that's been done, like they put in high resolution, like airline boards and stuff like that, like I don't want that eating up my frames. Thank you. So there you go. You can see it at night. Now I'll get it to daylight for you, so you can also see it in the daytime. There we go. How about at sunset? Somewhere around there. Yeah. Well, that's a little darker than I thought. Well, probably because of the clouds, right? And here we are. So that's going to do it for this one, folks. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, a share, a comment, subscribe. Oh, the ship's out there, looking awesome. Gorgeous approach lighting, I have to say. And the airport shows up nice and clean at distance. Coming in here at sunset on a day where you've actually got clear skies would be really nice. Technically, I should start putting the landing lights on and the strobes, but I'm not going to. It's got the proper markings. They do not use yellow in Japan. They use like this orange, if you will. And that's that island I was talking about. This is the domestic terminal, and that is the international, but it's all connected. So, if you did, you know, like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, you know the whole routine. Where you can get the airport and that is listed down below, as well as where you can get this aircraft, where you can get the X-Plane map enhancement. Again, if you decide to get the Pro, buy the subscription for Pro for $40 a year, do use my referral code. You get a little extra time added to your subscription. And so do I, and some of my plugins that I use, I'll have those linked down below, as well as where you can get Oberix Global Forest and Sim Heaven and all that. So you can do this flight just like I did. In the meantime, I am going to let you go. And I think this gate. Yeah, that looks wide enough for a 777. And here we go. You'll also find my computer specs down there, how you can help support the channel and help bail out my overdraft, if you will, as we don't do sponsored content on the channel. Until the next time, I want you to stay safe, be kind to one another, keep the blue side up, and I will see you in the skies. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Thanks for watching. God bless.